Pat here. I was just kind of cleaning up my office a little bit and I came across this box right here, which are full of things like this. These are little lanyards and name tags from events that I've been to. And I thought it'd be fun to kind of go back into time.
See if these punks can do 90.
And go down memory lane a little bit and talk about some of them. This one here is from the DNX conference in Lisbon, which many of you saw my recent vlogs about.
That's good. That's good.
And that was an incredible event, and I just want to thank you, all of you, who have encouraged me to keep vlogging and keep shooting videos. You're actually going to see a lot of things changing around the SPI brand, and video is definitely going to be a huge part of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about these, and as I move on, I'm going to put them on my neck, and we'll see how many actually we have. It'll be interesting. Now, I'm also feeling like this will go kind of in reverse chronological order because this whole box has just been added to. I haven't really taken these out, so it may or may not be like that. But this one is from the Evolve conference from the Pro Blogger event in Australia. This was just a couple months ago. What was really special about this event is I got to bring my family with me. So in addition to going to an amazing place, to Australia to speak, I also got to bring the family with young kids. It was just really cool to share with them those experiences. Next, this one is from a recent event in San Diego, actually, so a local event, June 30th. And I know that because that was Social Media Day, San Diego, and I did the opening keynote. And what was really interesting about this event specifically was it was in the same ballroom at the same hotel where I had prom when I was 18 years old. And I started by telling that story and also how I had a terrible time during prom because I just sat there for 2.5 hours and I watched all my friends dance and I couldn't muster up the courage to ask my date to dance, and she was just as shy as I was. We were like the two shyest people in the room who just found each other, and it was just, I had a bad time. When your burrito at 2 a.m. is the best moment of the day, that's, you know, it just didn't go very well. All right, this event, I don't know if you could see that, John Nice, which is actually somebody's name, but I wore this, or actually I didn't even wear this, I was given this at Chalene Johnson's Marketing Impact Academy event because they kind of kept me a secret, and they said, well, if I wanted to attend the sort of gathering the night before, I could wear this, and it probably wouldn't have worked because a lot of people recognize me, but I was given this anyway and I wanted to keep this because this was a very significant event. This is where I sold my podcasting course, the beta version of the course, on stage. My first time ever selling on stage. I was deathly afraid of it. I had no idea what was going to happen, but I sold this brand new course that I created called Power Up Podcasting, and 165 people right after my presentation got up out of their chairs, went to the back of the room and signed up for the course. And many of them now have their podcasts up, but that was a significant day in my life because it was challenging. Thank you, Chalene, for challenging me to do that. But it was also eye-opening. The fact that you can actually sell and serve at the same time. That, man. This was Social Media Marketing World 2017. I've been to every single one. Highly recommend it. I always go, I always speak, and I always love it. And if you're there, look out for me, and I'd love to see you there. Traffic and Conversion Summit. And this is a great event, a lot of more advanced content at this kind of event, and it happens every year in San Diego as well. This was a Social Media Day from last year. This one was Utah, can't remember the month, but it was last year, and it was a great event. It was the Everything Food Blogger Conference, and what was nice about this one was, you know, they have food at all the events we go to, and they're okay. You can expect great food at a food blogging conference, and I got to do the opening keynote. And that one was a lot of fun. Traffic and Conversion from 2016. Social Media Marketing World from 2016. FinCon. FinCon is also a great event put on by a guy. His name is Philip Taylor, or PT Money. And FinCon, I don't know if it's in here. I hope I can find it. It is an event that holds a special place in my heart because it was the first event I ever spoke at in 2011 in Schaumburg, Illinois. And so I'm hoping that one was there because that's a special name tag. But this is the one from, also San Diego 2016, although they jump around from city to city. This year I think they're in Dallas, and I'll be there, and who knows where they're gonna be next year. Converted, the event put on by Lead Pages, Converted converted.com is where you go and check that out. I love speaking there, and I've been voted top speaker every single year so far, and I'm hoping I can keep that up this year too. So thank you for all the votes, everybody who's attended. Converted.com, lead pages. A lot of you know I'm an advisor for the company too. Great event with a lot of really amazing, smart people. That's one of the reasons why I love to go, because smart people go to these things and you can connect with them. In Vegas, the very last New Media Expo, RIP, and this is the one where I went and I came out in a DeLorean. I'll put a link in the description to the opening. It wasn't the opening keynote, but it was a keynote at New Media Expo, and it was a combined conference with NAB, so National Association of Broadcasters, I think it was. But that was my favorite presentation. I got to drive a DeLorean on stage. Check out the link in the description, because yeah, I got to live out my childhood dream. Guys, we haven't even really scratched the surface. Platform Conference 2013, I want to say, in Nashville with Michael Hyatt. Freedom Fastlane, Ryan Moran. Converted 2015, so this was their second year, I think, of the conference. Ho ho! Chris Ducker, where you at, dude? Tropical Think Tank in the Philippines, one of the funnest events I ever been to, and it was in an amazing location. We got to do so many fun things. Chris Ducker always puts on a great event. And I'm excited because I'm going to be speaking in London at his brand new event, Upreneur Summit, upreneur.summit.com, and this holds a special place in my heart as well. And it's also a really nice lanyard. All right, this is FinCon 2014. I didn't go 2013, I think. Is this 2013, 2014? I can't tell. But it was FinCon 2013, this is the third year. I missed the second year because there was a chance that my wife was gonna give birth to our daughter early, and thank God I didn't go to FinCon in 2012 because she was born during FinCon. So this year I spoke, I did the opening keynote, Derek Halpern did the final keynote, and this was one where I experimented with something new, so the presentation was about first impressions. So I thought, well, I'm the first keynote, let me make a great first impression, something that hopefully people will remember for years to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Pat Flynn. Woo.
And that happened, and I actually kind of rewound. The audio played backwards. I rewound, I went back to where I was, and then I came back again, and the first thing I said was,
first impressions matter.
And people still remember that. People are still bringing that up now 4 years later, so it worked. This is a great one, Thrive. This was also in San Diego this particular year, and what was great about this conference is that it takes the approach of not just how to make money, but what to do with that money to make the world a better place. So I got to talk about Pencils of Promise, and I really enjoyed that. All right, social media marketing world again. Here's another social media marketing world. I think this was from the second year of the conference. Agents of Change in Maine with Rich Brooks. This was a lot of fun. Who else spoke here? I don't got the names, but I remember Greg Hickman spoke, and John Lee Dumas spoke, and a few others, and we had a great time, and I was offered apparently some of the best lobster ever, and unfortunately I don't eat lobster, which is, I know, kind of sad. PartnerCon, this is a sister event to InfusionCon, or Icon for Infusionsoft. Here's FinCon. This is the one from 2013. The one thing that I really remembered about FinCon was this. Like, even from their first event in 2011, I thought that was really clever, because I've gone to events before and I'm like, hey, what's your name? Oh, let me flip that over. Don't touch me, right? But this one, no matter which way it is, you see the name and who it is. So nice job, PT. Good thinking. All right, this is from the Pro Blogger event in 2014. So the one that I talked about earlier, I was invited back, and that was really special because usually the international speakers don't get invited back, and I got invited back, and it was great. And anyway, this conference was amazing because it was my first time in Australia since 2008 when I went. So this was the first time coming to Australia to speak, and I got to meet Darren, who is a hero of mine, and it was just a lot of fun. And I just remember a lot of the fans there just were super nice. All right, New Media Expo from a few years back. Digital Collab. There we go. It was flipped around. Podcast movement from Anaheim this past year, and that was really cool. That was where you saw behind the scenes the things that happened here, and I'll link to that vlog too. Podcast movement 15, this is where I spoke and I was talking to myself on stage. And the thing about that, I'll tell the quick story, is I pretended to forget what I was gonna say. and then I had a voice that I connected, or I programmed into Keynote to play, and I basically had a conversation with myself, and then I eventually revealed to the audience that I'm speaking to the voice in my own head.
Serious, what's going on here?
I'm in your head, Pat.
Yeah, so stop interrupting me so I can get back to the presentation, please.
No, Pat. I mean, I'm in your head. I'm the voice in your head.
Wait, and you have a British accent?
And the talk was about getting over your fears and how, like, we always try to stop ourselves. We're always our own worst enemy, and how to get over that. So this was a very, very special event. That was a lot of fun. And then finally, here is the Financial Blogger Conference from 2011, the very first time I ever spoke on stage. So a big shout out to the FinCon community who was there. That's where I met, I think, Caleb Wojcik for the first time, and Todd Tresidder, who's in a mastermind group with me. And so thank you, PT, for giving me my neck is hurting because this thing is really heavy. Thank you, PT, for giving me the chance to speak and helping me get out of my comfort zone. Actually, I was supposed to just do a breakout session with like 50 people, and then PT calls me a couple weeks before and he goes, "Hey Pat, do you want to speak and do the closing keynote, because our closing keynote can't make it?" And I said, okay. And I was scared to death. I scripted every single word I was gonna say for this 20-minute presentation, and I stumbled a little bit, and I just did some things that I wasn't supposed to. I even wore this lanyard while speaking. If you're a speaker, don't wear the lanyard.
You know, I've been reading a lot about presenting and public speaking. This is my first presentation, just like Adam's first public speaking gig. And you know, I read Stand and Deliver by Dale Carnegie and all the tips in there.
People already know who you are. You've been introduced already. But anyway, I wore the lanyard and I fought through it, and I just got addicted to speaking because it was just such an amazing feeling and experience. So these are a few of the events, most of the events that I've been to, and I look forward to speaking even more and on even bigger stages, and even going back to a number of these too, because I just enjoy it so much and meeting people. So if I see you at a conference, come give me a shout out, say hi, let's hang out. I'd love to meet you, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. So it's been nice to go down memory lane and to get back into the DeLorean and explore a lot of these places I've been. And you know, I hope you get encouraged to go out and meet people too, because it's not just about collecting lanyards, which, I don't know, most people probably throw theirs away. But for me, it's about collecting memories. It's about collecting relationships, building relationships, and a lot of the people that I've met at these conferences are now some of my best friends, like Chris Stucker and Caleb Wojcik and Todd Tresidder and Jamie Masters, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And if it wasn't for meeting people in person, I wouldn't have the mastermind groups that I'm in, and I'm sure I wouldn't be where I'm at today without those relationships. So go out there, meet people, get out of your comfort zone, and just have a great time while you're doing it. Thank you all so much. Please subscribe to the vlog and to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna go gangbusters in 2018 with videos, so we have some special things planned. I look forward to serving you the rest of this year and into the next here on YouTube specifically too. So please subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers, bye. Oh my gosh. Look at that.